Hi, this is Daryl Olson from the Jackson Fishing Team, and welcome to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome again. Anyway, that's a lot of welcomes, but what the heck. Anyway, we're going to continue on. We're going to do our second brim or sunfish fly, and it's called Bluegill Belly Bean fly. It's like a slider tied on a jig hook. So let's take a look at it, and we'll get tying. It's pretty simple to tie, I think. Anyway, this here's the Bluegill Belly Bean. Yeah, it'll primarily fish like that, like a very similar to a slider, except not for redfish, but for bluegill. You know, I might even pick up a bass or something like that as well. So let's take it off the hook, and we will tie the material, show the materials, and we tie the fly as we go along on there. The hook I'm going to use is a nymph style J hook, 60 degrees jig hook in a size 8. You could probably tie this really in any size you want, but I'm tying it for bluegill. On there, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to debarb the hook, only because I like to do that. You don't have to if you don't want to. And we're going to go ahead and place that in the jaws here. The thread I'm going to use is an olive thread in 140 denier, or a 6/0, and we'll just start this back behind this bend here. You could probably use whatever thread you want, but I'm kind of matching it with the color of the materials that I'm going to use in there. So I'm going to I want to put some eyes on there. I'm going to use like extra small, in this case some nickel eyes, dumbbell eyes, in a 5/32. That's pretty close to an extra small on there. On that deal. And we're going to go ahead and tie these on there. And I'm going to take a peek at it, make sure that it looks perpendicular. and then helicopter around. And And we'll take this back to where the barb used to be, or where the barb is in your case, maybe. And the next material I'm going to use is some crystal flash in pearl. And this is for the tail. You only need about 6 or 8 fibers for the tail. I'm going to grab 4 right here, and then I'm going to double it over. And I only want the tail to be about hook, shank, and length. And we'll keep that tied in on the top. And we'll take those up to the back of the eyes. And then we'll tie that back. And that'll give us our 6 or 8 fibers on the tail. And there's enough to do another fly. And the next bit of materials we're going to use is some F-stas. I'm going to use some medium in olive or dark olive, whatever you want to call that. It says it's dark olive. You can tie this fly in a lot of different colors. And I'm going to do is strip off some of these fibers, so I got a hard core right there. And then I'm going to leave it about in the middle. And I'm just going to give this a wrap to about halfway on the body. And I'm going to stroke those fibers back so I'm not locking any in. Lock that in. Trim that out. And then I'm going to do is I'm going to put some rubber legs. I'm using Chacon's regular crusher and olive barred clear. And I'm just going to pull off one fiber. And I'm going to cut that in half. So it gives me, like, I can put 2 legs on there. And we're going to go ahead and that over to the side. And then I'm gonna make sure I keep 2 on each side. And I'm going to just lock that in. Next material I'm going to use, I'm going to finish it off with some Sanyo laser dub in light olive. And we're just going to dub that on there. And we're going to wrap this here, and we're going to use it for do a figure 8, fill in the head. And then we'll give it a whip finish. That didn't work so well. We'll cut that off and try again. And then I'm going to apply another whip finish with some cement on the thread, just so I don't mess up my dubbing material. And we'll trim that off. And then we'll and there we have it, the bluegill belly bean. I hope you found that interesting. On there. Alright, I hope you found that bluegill belly bean interesting. It'll get down there deep if they're deep in a deep hole, if you need to get that far down. Give it a try. It's a catcher. And let me know how it works. Otherwise, we will see you on the water. All right. Bye.